And now it's time to install the Maxxair Fan Deluxe. This is it, and it's got the rain cover, so it can be used and opened even when it's raining. And it comes with several different pieces. This frame here goes on the outside, and this frame is the final trim on the inside. That square over there, and then the fan itself has got a remote, some screws, and some manual and all that. I also purchased this frame from Skoolie.com, vent frame that goes on the inside of the bus, on the ceiling. Even has a little hole for the wires. So normally I think this frame is supposed to be framed into the ceiling, and then when you are screwing or drilling this frame from the outside, it would drill, or maybe you're pre-drilling or you're going to use self-tapping screws. It will go through the sheet metal of the roof, and then it would drill into this frame and grab onto it. That way the fan is holding on to that frame. But I'm not going to frame this frame. I'm not going to attach it to the ceiling prior to installing the vent fan. It'll be basically freestanding. The vent fan will be connected to it, but that will not be connected to any kind of frame except the sheet metal on the ceiling. And why am I going to do that? Well, I am not ready at the point to do any framing here. That's one reason. With wood yet. I could, I guess, do a metal frame, but that's just extra work, and I don't think it's necessary. Because the hatch that I deleted already has a frame around it. And the sheet metal that I use is 18 gauge galvanized, and it's pretty thick. It's not thin like the rest of the roof. And one side of it is riveted into the head channels of the ceiling. So that's pretty solid there. And once I add this metal frame there, it will hold the fan enough, the whole system, and I don't think it's gonna have any issues with the fan vibrating. So I found in the basement a box of these roofing screws, and they have the little rubber gasket. So they're better than the ones that the fan came with, which is just regular screws. So I'm gonna use these to mount the fan. One thing not to forget is this hole for the wires for the fan. So you need to make sure that that's on the left side. If it's mounted like this in the ceiling, that the hole is pointing to the left, because that's where the wire is, on the left. So I've marked it over here, top front, so this side will go top and towards the front of the bus. So that's how it's going to be installed. So I'm gonna do this like this. So I make sure that's center like this. These tabs on the sides, left and right, not front to back. So I want to mark the center line of the bus so I can center the vent fan correctly. And I have marked it here, and here you can see it. I had run previously a chalk line down the middle to find the center line when I was building the mounts for the solar panels. So basically I'm just gonna run a line from one end to the other now, because I know that's down the middle. Now I'm marking a center of this plastic frame. That way I can make sure it's centered down this line here. can now line up this little mark here with that one over there, and I know this should be right in the center. Okay, so this is where this edge should be. Since I couldn't trace it with a marker from the outside because marker can't reach, this is blocking it. I'm just gonna measure the dimensions and then I'm gonna draw it out. I was doing some more measurements and it looks like my solar panel might be touching the fan. So I'm gonna actually use, if I move it any further back, I think the solar panel will be touching the fan. So I'm gonna actually use this line that I drew for the inner. I'm just gonna use it for the outer. I'm gonna move it forward like this. That's gonna be cut. So now I can go and measure you know, each side. I got an angle grinder and I'm gonna use the cutoff blade to cut this square out. I deburred it from the outside, I just need to do it from the inside. Okay, it's fitting. The problem is the roof is curved. I mean, probably when the frame gets put in and everything, you'll pull the sheet metal down and keep it square. I'm trying to center punch these so I can use the self-tapping screws to drill the pilot holes. Now I'm going to use the self-tappers to drill a pilot hole. I'm actually going to leave it there, and then I'm going to go on the other side and do one over here. Saw that from Bussy McBusface. So this kind of keeps it in place. So I've done 3 so far. It's kind of pulling everything together. All the pilot holes are drilled, and the screws were able to pull the sheet metal down, so there's no big gap anymore on the side. So I don't have to put 2 layers of butyl tape on the sides. I can just put one around and screw it with the other roof screws. But this is looking good. And now I'm just taking all the self-tapping screws off so I can put butyl tape and mount the actual roof screws I'm going to be using. I got the butyl tape, so now I'm going to put that on. Have my scissors. Okay, where's my front? There it is. So I'm just using this self-tapping screw just to make sure I basically poke a hole through the sealant to make sure that the holes are lining up. And they are. So, and we clamped it down so it's getting held. We got better clamps. That's it. It's done. This butyl tape that oozed out, I'm just using a utility knife to cut out. Now I'm putting Sikaflex 221 all around. And now I'm just gonna nicely with my fingers tool it. Okay, I'm also gonna do each of these screws. Okay, so now I'm gonna route the wires through the hole in the frame here. Thank you. Okay, pull it. Make sure it's not. Okay, now I'm putting this in. Okay. Hold on. Well, this needs to go outside of the... There we go. Okay, Bob, can you rotate the knob in the corner to raise the... Yeah. Okay, go Max. Thank you. Okay, now I gotta line up the... Okay. So I'm gonna use the same screws that I used on the frame.
You didn't come with screws?
Huh?
You didn't come with screws?
It did, but these are better. Okay, there's got 4 screws. Oh, this thing is off. It's... the holes are not lining up. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's get the other side. It's kind of getting dark here. I hope you guys can see it on the video. There we go. It's in. Thank you. There we go. The fan is in. That's how it looks like when it's the lid, the rain cover is lifted. And this is how the van fan looks from the inside. This whole thing is like not moving really. Everything is solid, so I have not framed in this metal frame yet. Still everything is good. The van fan is bringing some light through as well. We don't have a skylight in the front part of the bus because everything is covered by solar panels, or will be covered. So it's nice to get some light here. And this is how the fan looks like when it's all installed. I still haven't taken this film off. I will not do that yet, since I still have to do some work on the top here, and I don't want to scratch it by accident. But that's how it looks. Of course, this cover can go up and down. It can be controlled with a remote or manually. And this version of the fan can be operated and used while it's raining because of this cover that it has. So this is perfect. Everything is looking good. Perform the leak test for the vent fan and the hatch delete. That's great. No leaks on the hatch delete or the vent fan. Success!